guys, this is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and it's time for the 2013 Wave 1 Marvel Legends Captain America figure review. Now, this is another guy I was pretty much looking forward to, if nothing else for fodder again, but I do like Cap, and I like this design. The figure looked pretty good. It actually looked really good at Comic-Con. Of course, it doesn't look nearly as good as it did there, but there still are some really nice things about this guy, and some really bad things. Let's look at the height. But note, from the packaging, he's got this weird bent leg thing going on, so I'm going to try to straighten him out to get a good measurement, but it give or take a little bit when listening to this. He's about 6.5 inches tall, almost exactly as far as I could get him. This is the Shield Agent body, Face-Off Punisher body. New features include the arms, we'll get to that, the boots, and then of course all the strap-on stuff, and the head. The head, to me, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, looks like the Steve Rogers head that we got from the first Captain America for the new batch of Marvel Legends, only they put the mask on him, which I think is a great touch. If you're going to make two Cap figures, the face might as well match. And another thing, you can pop it off. I'm not sure if the colors match. I don't believe they do, but they're probably close enough, or you could repaint them to make it work. Or if you just wanted to get an unmasked version, that would work obviously, but to put that on there, it may not match perfectly. Accessories include his shield, which has a nice metallic color to it all the way through. Everything's got a little bit of a metallic sheen. I got two of these since I got the case of 8. One of them had fingerprints all over it in the finish, so that was pretty nice. I was happy about that. And so that one's going to get put in the fodder bin. Same mold that we've seen like 100 times now. Still no paintwork on the inside, but it's forgivable. He's got the peg and the wrist snap. Still, I prefer the old ones from like the Series 8 Ultimate Cap, but that one will do. The head sculpt, like I said, is really good. I like it. It doesn't look too big thanks to the vest, but it's still, if you take the vest off, it's still going to be too big like the other one. Paint app is pretty good. He's got his eyebrows in there. Nice blue eyes, painted well. The A is relatively solid. Pretty good paint application. The best paint application on this figure by far comes in the vest and the harness here, because the sculpt is really good on both. There's tons of detail. Of course, this is missing tons of paint because these wouldn't be colored that way, but it's molded in this brown plastic, and then it's got this great black wash to make it look really realistic. They did a really good job with that part. The buckles are silver, the buttons are silver. Everything looks good on there. Aside from this stuff, of course. So the vest is good. It does come off if you want, but like I said, he's going to look pretty skinny. And you can see right there actually how big the head looks if you take the vest off. So I would leave that on there. The head does look up almost all the way, so that's really nice. And it looks down all the way, and it kind of, as you can see, there's a gap there, but it can move on the peg. So that's so that you can get it to look all the way up and all the way forward. So that's fine. The articulation for the head is really good. I like that. And since they redesigned it a little bit, you can even cock the head from side to side. So that's one of my favorite things about head articulation or neck articulation. And they actually did that. So I'm super happy about that. Same shoulder joints we've seen. Ball disc shoulders, no problems there. Bicep swivel. As you can see, he's got the blue on the outside, gray on the inside like he's supposed to have. But it doesn't continue on. So it looks really off. Looks really wrong. He doesn't have any paint on his shoulder there, so more cut corners. The white paint on the rest of the arm looks about as bad as the old Toy Biz figures did when they had painted parts like this. It's really splotchy and looks really bad. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if it's showing up or if the lights are so bright it looks white anyway, but it's not. It's like light blue in some areas. Just looks bad. Double jointed elbow though, and a wrist swivel. That's all the articulation you get for the lower arms. On either side, this side's a fist. Sculpt is really good. There's no paint other than a little bit of shading, but the sculpt is really good on both sides. And this side has a trigger finger, which is really nice because they gave you a, oh, that's right, the gun's molded in there, and it's stupid, and Hasbro's lazy and cheap. So he's got a trigger finger that you can't use for anything, at least that he comes with. I guess you could give him a gun from another figure, but as far as the figure goes and the packaging, no gun for him. so we'll just ignore that. Still has the ab crunch, nice ratcheted, so that's good. Paint app on the star, it's okay. Again, it's a little bit see-through. Paint app for the stripes is okay. There's some bleeding where the red comes into the blue. The white's still pretty hit or miss, so definitely could be better. The belt is painted really well, like I said. Still has the waist twist. Still has the Y-jointed hips. The other one I have of this guy, this hip is completely loose. It just flops around. This one's fine though, so chalk it up to manufacturing error, I guess. If I didn't know better, I'd say these are the thicker thighs that we saw on Drax with the straps added to them. That seems like way more work than it should be though, so I'm gonna assume that they didn't do that and it just is an optical illusion, but they seem thicker. This part of the leg is the same as before, and like I said, he's got the new boots. No paint app on the boots really, other than the soles are gray with the little stars on there. And that's not paint, obviously, that's a sculpt. But the sculpt is really good on the boots, just like the gloves. The laces and everything's there, just not painted well. And back to this. This is the same handle from the same gun that we've seen a few different times now in the new Legends. But they just molded it into this crappy little holster thing and glued it on. How much did they actually save by doing that? They already have a mold for this, and they already have a mold for the holster. Why couldn't they just do that? This is just bad. It's not even thick enough to hold the gun. And the gun's made to be thinner too. That's just stupid. What kind of figure nowadays comes with a molded gun? Especially when you already have the gun and a trigger finger on the figure. To me, that's completely unacceptable. All that tells me is Hasbro doesn't care anymore. They know people are going to buy them, like me, because it's too late in the game to quit now for me. I might as well finish it out. So they're just cashing their checks, laughing all the way to the bank at this point, I think. That's my 2 cents. Sorry, Hasbro, I don't want to feel that way, but you've given me no choice. They didn't even paint the buckle on the molded piece of crap. Okay, let's move on. Well, I guess there's nothing else to say about this guy. That's it. That's the Captain America from 2013. First glance looks good. Definitely posable and shelf worthy. Just make sure you don't look at the gun here and try to ignore all the other problems, because he looks okay as a figure as a whole, but there's still lots of problems. There it is, guys. Alright, stay tuned for the rest of the 2013 Legends reviews, and in the meantime, keep collecting.